Today, I want to talk about reinterpreting traditional melodies, particularly old-time melodies that have lots of space. Melodies that give you these big, inhabitable spaces where you're left with time to yourself so you can fill it however you'd like. Things like Soldier's Joy. A melody that has these big pauses in it. At least that's kind of the simplest possible minimum viable melody when it comes to Soldier's Joy. And you're just left to hang out on the C, the 1. I'm also thinking of things like Green Willis, where you're left to hang out on that note for a little while. And then there's what I played in the beginning, which is Once in Royal David City. A very simple melody called Childish in its own time and traditionally sung by children. It's fitting for the season, given that it is December. I like that melody a lot because it is so simple and it has so much space. It really offers you a lot of opportunity as a clawhammer banjo player to fill up that space using all of Clawhammer's many space-filling devices. And in particular, it's got a lot of room for slides. So kind of what I'm talking about here is when a tune presents you with a space, you could fill it with a slide. And rather than put in one slide, you can turn that slide into 2 slides. So that's kind of the theme of today's thought. Slide and then double. Back to Soldier's Joy. That's a simple clawhammer version. What if you wanted to put some slides in there? So that's with slides. And there are 2 slides. This is slightly confusing off the bat, but what I'm saying is rather than do, you could do. So you're getting 2 slides for 1 on that first slide. And you can also double other notes. So you land on that C. Why not double it up? And then in Green Willis, to take another example. I slide so much it's hard not to slide. That's kind of a barer version with no slides. What if you start doubling some of those slides? Once in Royal David City. Let's put in a slide. There's all kinds of doubling happening there. Doubling or tripling, really, or quadrupling. There's another slide that we're not doubling. That's a form of doubling there at the end, too. I guess it's kind of a simple idea when you really stop to think about it. You slide, and then you double. I think one kind of abstract way of thinking about this technique is to be inspired by the way Hong Kong action movies, like Jackie Chan movies, were traditionally edited, where you have something like a punch or a kick. And in a Western film, you'd see that one time from one angle. They'd choose one angle and show you the kick, because the conceit is that everything is happening in real time, and you obviously would only see one thing happen in real time once. In Hong Kong action films, they do away with that conceit entirely, and they're just going to show it to you multiple times because it's so cool. When Jackie Chan throws a punch, you're going to see from one angle, and then potentially see it from another angle, and then potentially see it from yet another angle, just because it's such a cool moment. If he jumps off a building, they're going to show you the same leaving the building part multiple times from multiple angles. And that's how I think of what I'm doing here on the banjo a little bit, because there are these great moments, these great slides in these tunes when you add them in. Why not do them again, potentially a little differently each time? Because you really can't do the same slide the exact same way every time on a fretless banjo. So why not put in as many as you want? Now when you do put them in, put in 2, put in 3. That B part of Soldier's Joy there kind of demonstrates that what I'm talking about actually doesn't have much to do with sliding per se. There are these kind of moments in a tune where you've got a characteristic interval or something like that. So why not do those twice? Or just a characteristic note that you can hit twice and still be on time for the next phrase. That's what I'm talking about there. The melody doesn't call for you to do that twice, you just do it once. But you could do it twice. And there's another example there, hanging out on that thumb on the 7th scale degree. Hopefully those long and rambling thoughts on sliding and doubling and interpreting traditional melodies as if they were Hong Kong action sequences makes even a little bit of sense. Potentially this video raises more questions than it answers, but I'd be happy to answer those questions. Leave any question you might have in the comments. I'd love to talk more about those questions and the questions that those questions raise. One more tune I'm thinking of to close out this Clawhammer Banjo thought is Silent Night, again, appropriate for the season. And I do lots of sliding and doubling.